Hello everyone, it's Paul from Just a Brick in the Bucket, and I am glad to have you with us today in the new episode of Brick History. Last time we had started LEGO Star Wars, the full history of LEGO Star Wars, which there is quite a lot, and we had gotten all the way from the first set up to about 2005, covered the release of the first LEGO Star Wars game, as well as some of the first UCS sets. In today's video, we're going to be continuing from 2006 up until the 10th anniversary. So if you're interested in learning about all of those sets, please like and subscribe and take care of all that stuff and return to the video because we're going to get right into it because there's a lot. I've got like 6 pages of notes, 7 pages of notes, so we've got a lot to go over. Included in those notes is everything from Imperial Star Destroyers to a special X-Wing and a couple collector's items. So I guess we can just go ahead and start right at the top and work our way through. Some of my favorite sets were actually released during this time period, or at least a lot of the sets that I grew up with were released during this time period because, you know, from 1999 to 2005 I was, you know, quite young. But around this point was really when I started getting into LEGO and when my parents started buying me more LEGOs. And so I like a lot of these sets. I have a lot of them. I would say that this era and the next era that we'll go over in our next video probably make up the bulk of my collection here. And we'll go ahead and jump in with a set that I actually do have, and that is set 6210, which is Jabba's sail barge. It includes Boba Fett, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Lando in his skiff guard uniform, which I believe is unique to this and other iterations of Jabba's sail barge. It also comes with a few Gamorreans, R2-D2, and Jabba. And this was not the first release of Jabba. We saw that in another set from the previous video. So if you want to go learn when that figure first came out, you can go ahead and click the link to the first video, which is going to be down in the description below. But this set also included the Sarlacc, which isn't really a minifig, but still, nonetheless, it's kind of a cool, I don't know what the technical term is, but non-minifig characters. You know, the Sarlacc, of course, being the plant. Well, it's a plant. It's not really an animal. It looks like an animal, but it's a plant that they try and force Luke to fall into, and it digests you for 1,000 years, feeding off of your pain. Really, not a thing that most people probably want to be in. After that, we saw the release of the Imperial Star Destroyer. Well, the second release of the Imperial Star Destroyer, set number 6211. This was the largest set released in 2006 to my knowledge. The original had 3,069 pieces, and this one had 1,367, which is a decrease, but you know, still a good number, especially back in the earlier days of LEGO Star Wars when we weren't getting these huge mammoth, you know, UCS sets. It included 9 figs, which is a pretty good amount for a set, especially of this era. And in those 9 figs, we had 2 Imperial Guards, a Mouse Droid, a Grand Moff Tarkin, one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, an Imperial Officer, R2-D5, and 2 Stormtroopers. I believe that this was the first minting of Grand Moff Tarkin as a minifig. So this would be the set where he first showed up. This set does have a little caveat, though, and that is, if you are very lucky, you can actually get a misprinted Darth Vader, which has eyebrows on him. This was only released in a few by mistake, and as any fans of Star Wars would know, there is a bit of a kerfuffle, a confusion with Darth Vader's eyebrows, and that if you go to the original cut of Return of the Jedi, when Vader takes off his mask at the end and is Anakin again, you see his eyebrows in one shot, and then they cut, and then they come back, and his eyebrows are gone. So nice to know that made it into LEGO Star Wars canon, even if it was indeed an accident. After the Imperial Star Destroyer in all of its glory, we have a release of a changeable X-Wing. This is set 6212, and it can be swapped to either be Wedges or Wedge Antilles, or Luke's ship, respectively Red 5 for Luke and Red 2 for Wedge. And this set does include 6 figs, Wedge Antilles, obviously, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewie, and R2-D2. Wedge was released for the first time in this set, so little fun fact there. I do not believe that I have this set, and actually I don't think I have any sets with Wedge in them, even though he is an interesting character. The captain of the Tentative 5, which is what we encounter in the opening of A New Hope. This set also does have a minor error in it, and that is that the set incorrectly states that Wedge's ship is named Red 3. This is false in canon. It is Red 2. And this doesn't appear to just be a typo, because the ship actually has you place 3 little red dots on the wing if you are doing it for the Wedge customization instead of 2. So, little thing. In reality, Red 3, once again, the misprint, is Big's ship, and Big is Luke's friend from Tatooine, who, well, he passes away in a great big fireball. After that, we have 2 UCS releases. The UCS AT-ST, which is set number 10174, and the Vader's Advanced TIE. Nothing too remarkable about these sets. They are just the 2 UCS sets released this year. We'll see a trend every year, more or less, of 2 UCS sets being released at a time. We also had a couple other sets released, which I'll go ahead and put up a list of all sets that were released over in the corner of the screen, just so you can keep track of those. If I went into every single set, this video would be an hour long, so you can just look at those lists. I'm just basically going over ones that added new characters, important things, or were re-releases of previous versions. Although I should say that Slave 1 is a re-release of an earlier version of Slave 1, but this is Boba's version rather than Jango's version. And that wraps up 2006. We can go ahead and head right into 2007, which was a big year for LEGO. They released several maquettes, which I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. They're basically sculpted figures, which were released in limited quantities. There were only 1,000 made of each, and one of which was only released in Japan at an event. These were the Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, the Black Hole Stormtrooper, of which only 500 were made, and it was released only in Japan, and then Luke Skywalker, which was sold in stores. That was the only one that you could actually buy. It was a Toys R Us exclusive, which is another trend we'll see. It kind of makes me nostalgic thinking back about Toys R Us, which does not exist in the common era. But back when I was a little kid, I would be so excited to go to Toys R Us. They had some cool stuff, and, well, they got destroyed by Amazon and other online stores, which is not really surprising, but yeah, a little bit of real life lore there. This year also saw the release of 2 battle packs, which are basically small releases. At this point, they were $10. Now they go for about $20, but they usually include a bunch of minifigs and then some small little thing like a tiny walker or a little droid ship or something like that. But lots of minifigs. There were 2 released in 2007. Set 7654, the Droid Attack, which included, well, droids attacking, and Set 7655, which is Trooper Attack. And we have some consecutive numbers here with 7654 and 7655, which is not something I usually get to see back to back. But each of these was under $10, so it really harkens back to when Legos were affordable. Ah, nostalgia. Anyway, next up we have the Jedi Starfighter with a Hyperdrive Booster Ring, also known as Set 7661, which is a set that I had, I believe I still have somewhere, and it included Obi-Wan Kenobi and Kit Fisto. If I remember correctly, the Kit Fisto had this really cheap rubbery head, and I remember that the ink, the rubber itself wasn't dyed, it was just inked, and mine is all faded and destroyed. I don't know if anyone else has this set and can say whether or not the Kit Fisto was just low quality, or whether I was just destructive with my toys, but I seem to remember it being pretty low quality, so I don't know if they've re-released Kit Fisto, but if they have, I would recommend getting a newer version. We also had another release of the Extended Universe in 2007 in the form of the Extended Universe TIE Crawler, which, if you didn't know what the EU was, it's basically all of the books, comics, and other stuff associated with Star Wars before Disney purchased it that did not directly take place during the movies. And this set included 2 Shadow Troopers, which were released for the first time in this set. These are the normal LEGO versions of that one minifig that I said was released only in Japan. After this, we had the release of the Republic Cruiser, which I have. It's the red medical frigate. I don't believe that it's actually a cruiser. But it includes 5 figs: Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Republic Captain, Republic Pilot, and R2, R7. I believe that this is the only set where the Republic Captain and Republic Pilot are. I don't actually know where my copies of those minifigs are, but I believe that this is the only set that it came in, which is pretty cool. So if you want these, you can either buy them on BrickLink or buy this set, but I actually recommend buying this set. I think it's pretty cool. I'll rebuild it at some point. I have it all bagged up. Maybe I'll do that on stream, so check out our streams if you're interested in seeing that at some point. That was set number 7665. Number might be a bit important if you want to look it up. After this, we had the UCS motorized AT-AT Walker, which is set 107178. And I did a little bit of research, because if you are new to Star Wars, there is some argument as to whether or not it is pronounced AT-AT or AT-AT. And, well, here is my research.
Loved every character in the cantina growing up. My favorite Imperial is the AT-AT driver.
Right.
Like the only successful Imperial forces. And we can talk about this. It's not Rebels related, so I know that I talk about Rebels related stuff, but I say you can say AT-AT, you can say AT-AT,
completely.
and you can say Walker. I'm for all 3.
Me too.
And that's canon, because in this show,
We got that.
I have Imperials say Walkers, I have them say AT-AT, and I have them say AT-AT.
Yes, so as you can see, it doesn't really matter, and you can just stop arguing about it. But this set included 4 figs: Luke Skywalker, Snowspeeder Pilot, Snowtrooper, the AT-AT Driver, and General Veers. This was General Veers' first release, and this set is really cool because it walks, as you can see here, and motorized sets weren't super common back then, especially in Star Wars. In fact, I believe that this was the first motorized Star Wars set, which is really cool. I don't own this set, but I believe that having a motorized walker is pretty cool, and young me would have absolutely loved it. Next up, we have the UCS Millennium Falcon, which at the time was the largest set, measuring 33 inches by 22 inches by 8.3 inches, and with a whopping 5,195 pieces. This was later dethroned by the Taj Mahal and the latest UCS Millennium Falcon, and both of those are about to be absolutely destroyed by the Coliseum. If you haven't checked out the Coliseum yet, you really should. It's on Lego.com. It's so cool. I wish I could buy it. Maybe later. I don't have the space, but it's such a cool set. But this was the largest set up until the later Millennium Falcon was released. And something that's really cool about the set, about just how big it is the fact that it's minifig scale, which is really quite rare in these UCS sets, at least in some of the earlier ones. And I think it's really cool. The most recent one is technically minifig scale, I believe, but it's missing some pieces, and you kind of have to modify it if you want it to be truly minifig scale. But anyway, this set comes with 5 minifigs: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Obi-Wan, Chewbacca, and Leia. And only 20,000 were made worldwide, with the first 5,000 being released as collector's editions with a certificate of authenticity. Also included in this year randomly put into Lego sets was a gold-plated C-3PO. I remember I really wanted to find one of these, but I never did. You can see an image of it here, but very cool. Never managed to get my hands on one of those. There was also a raffle at a Star Wars celebration in Los Angeles, which saw a new set featuring Darth Vader, 2 Royal Guardsmen, and 2 Stormtroopers, and this set was raffled off to 500 people. So not very many of those. If you have one of those, congratulations. Also at this time, obviously one of the best games that's ever been made, and in anything, is Lego Star Wars 2, the most important release of the year, in my opinion. And once again, I'll have a list of all of the other sets that were released in this year over on the side of the video. And now, with all of that from 2006 and 2007 completed, we can move on to 2008. 2008 was a very eventful year and saw the release of 22 Star Wars sets, which is almost a record to date. Clone Wars was released in this year, and so as a result, there were 11 sets that were related to Clone Wars that came out. And by the way, if you don't know what Clone Wars is, I highly recommend you go and check it out. It is not a kids show, and I will fight you if you say it is. It's fantastic. In my opinion, it's some of the best writing in Star Wars. So I highly recommend, if you have Disney Plus, you go and watch those. Some of the episodes can be a little bit kid oriented, but on the whole, most of it, especially from like season 3 onward, is fairly adult and very good. And especially as The Mandalorian comes out, if you're watching this in late 2020, the second season of The Mandalorian is coming out, and they're going to start tying in things from Clone Wars and Rebels, which is the other animated series, into The Mandalorian, so I highly recommend you get caught up. But this saw the release of Anakin Starfighter Set 7669, which included 2 minifigs, Anakin and R2-D2. Anakin was released in the Clone Wars style for the first time. This year also saw the release of the Twilight Set 7680, which was Anakin's signature ship throughout the majority of Clone Wars up until it was destroyed towards the end. But this includes 4 minifigures: Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Rhoda the Hutt, and R2-D2. In the instructions of this set, however, there is an error. It says to put a stud in the wrong spot. So, fun fact again, Lego can be wrong. And this was I don't believe that they've ever corrected it. So, if you own this set and you own the instructions, congratulations. You have an incorrect instruction. This year also saw the Republic Attack Gunship Set 7676, which includes 5 minifigures: Clone Commander Cody, a Clone Trooper, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Plo Koon, and Asajj Ventress. I believe that I have this set, at least I have Plo Koon, and I believe that this was one of the few sets that he was released in, and I believe that this was the first set in which he was released. Same with Asajj Ventress, who was the antagonist for the first season of Clone Wars. This also saw the Rogue's Shadow released, Set 7672, which is not from Clone Wars, but actually from the Force Unleashed video game. But this included 3 minifigs: Battle Damaged Darth Vader, Darth Vader's Secret Apprentice, and Juno Eclipse. Unfortunately, I believe that this was the only set that was released from the Force Unleashed, which is a bit disappointing considering that it is a very good game. During this year, there were also 4 polybags. One of these polybags, Clone Turbo Tank 20006, was a US-only release and was only available as part of the Brickmaster subscription service. This also saw the release of R2 signature UCS sets, General Grievous, and the Death Star. The Death Star is obviously one of the coolest sets Lego has ever made. I don't think too many people will disagree on that. It's just so intricate and has so many different scenes. And it includes a whopping 24 minifigs, which is the largest number to date, according to my brief Googling. So, wow. And as for that list, we have C-3PO, Protocol Droid, R2-D2, R2-Q5, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Stormtrooper, Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight, Han Solo, Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, Grand Moff Tarkin, 2 Stormtroopers, 2 Imperial Stormtroopers, 2 Royal Guards, Assassin Droid, Interrogation Droid, and a Mouse Droid. So, if you want to go ahead and slow that down and listen to those, you can. There were a lot of minifigs in this set, and it was the pride and joy of my collection when I was little. And as always, the other sets are over in the corner. And we are a little bit past 20 minutes now, which I believe makes this the longest video I have made to date. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you. If you have any questions about these sets, I'll be down in the comment section for the next couple days after posting. Also, please check out our Discord if you're interested in knowing more about LEGO Star Wars. I know we've kind of paused our playthrough of LEGO Star Wars. That will be returning, but if you're watching this in late 2020, we're currently renovating a house, and that's taking all of our focus, so we haven't really been able to do too many fun things. But I appreciate everyone who has stuck through the channel with this brief period of inactivity, and I hope that the next one of these will be on time in 2 weeks on Monday. So hang around then to check this out. Also, like I said, join our Discord and check out our Patreon. If you want to support the channel, you can donate on our Patreon and get some perks as well as a unique role in the Discord. Next time, in next video, we will be continuing on from the 10th anniversary, so 2009 onwards. I decided not to include the 10th anniversary in this because it would have been another 10-minute segment. And I'm sure some people like the longness of these videos, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't. So it'll be in next video. But I think that this will probably take 2 more videos, maybe 3. It's a lot more in depth than I thought. I was expecting I could cover this in 3 videos, but we're not even halfway through. You know, when we reach 2011 is when we'll be halfway through. So yeah, thank you for sticking in. I hope you've watched the video all the way through. If you have, comment Lucky Charms down in the comment section below. I don't know why, but I just want to see how many people watch these all the way through. So have a great night, great day, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. I hope you have an enjoyable life. And I will see you either in our next stream or in our next video.